Hey everyone, welcome to the 2021 All Virtual Teal Ball. Hi, I'm your host, Natalie Bencivenga, and I am coming to you live from PAAR's satellite office here in Braddock. I'm going to tell you all about this beautiful new location here in a few, but first, I have a lot of exciting things to share with you. Over the next 50 minutes, you will hear from PAAR's new executive director, staff members who do this critical work every day, and the Ditka Visionary Award winner. In addition, we will be joined by some of the individuals who helped to curate the celebration kit, which you can see right over here. And in a few minutes, I will explain how each of you can make an impact tonight by donating and bidding on some amazing silent auction items. And in addition, are you going to be on social media tonight? Well, if you are, please tag us at PAAR News. And of course, feel free to use the hashtag TealBall so we can check out all of you celebrating at home. And now I would like to welcome a very special guest, Phil Hilf, the president of PAAR's Board of Directors.
Thank you, Natalie. We're thrilled you're able to be with us tonight. Thanks for joining us. On behalf of PAAR's Board of Directors, welcome to the 2021 Virtual Teal Ball. We're sorry we're not able to gather in person, but we are grateful for this opportunity to celebrate the important work that PAAR does. I have the wonderful job of being able to thank a lot of people tonight, but I only have 60 seconds in which to do it, so let's get started. All of you out there in virtual land, let me hear a rousing ovation for our Teal Ball co-chairs, Sue Jameson, Angela Campbell, and Audra Mitchell. The entire Teal Ball committee and all of our volunteers, thank you for all of the hard work you put in to creating this wonderful program. Thank you to our fabulous development team, Sadie Restivo and Corey Hart. We would not be here without the two of you and your outstanding efforts. Thank you to our production team working hard behind the scenes here in Braddock, bringing this to you. Thank you to all of our sponsors. More throughout the evening on our sponsors from Natalie. PAAR Board of Directors. I unfortunately don't have time to recognize each of my 19 colleagues individually, but thank you all for your vision, for your leadership, and for your dedication to PAAR's mission. PAAR staff, in a difficult, challenging year, thank you for your resilience, for your flexibility, and for your commitment to those that you serve. Thank you to all of you out there joining us tonight for your support of PAAR. We're glad you can be with us. I hope you enjoy your evening. Thank you. Back to you, Natalie.
Thank you so much, Phil. That was awesome. And now that you are all logged on and viewing the event, you will see to the left there are silent auction items that you can bid on at any time, that's right, anytime, throughout the night, and of course help us to reach our goal of 7,500. And I've heard that we're off to a pretty strong start, so let's keep that up. But for the moment, let's take a minute, okay, I'm so excited about this, to check out our celebration kit because there are so many amazing items that I'm sure all of you have started to, indulge in at home. I can't wait to get into this myself after the show. So we've got some amazing items, of course. It wouldn't be a celebration without Pittsburgh popcorn. Truffles, hello, from Dianoya's Eatery, everyone's favorite, and beer from the Brew Gentleman, which is right across the street because we love to keep it local here in Braddock. And this is like my favorite thing. Okay, I want everyone to check out the Tatty Bogle cider. Say that 3 times fast. There are 3 lucky individuals out there tonight. This is sort of like a little Willy Wonka thing they've got going on, but instead of finding a gold ticket, if you're one of the lucky 3 that found a green cap, you are going to be a winner, and this entitles you and 3 guests to get this. This is amazing. A 2-hour private tasting and tour of Tatty Bogle Cider Works. So thank you so much for that. And before we move on, I would just like to thank tonight's premier sponsors: UPMC Magee Women's Hospital, Beatrice, the Campbell family, Ernst Young, Price Waterhouse Coopers. Tonight would not be possible without their support. And now I am pleased to present Lisa Perry and a few other very special guests.
I'm Lisa Perry, and I'm the Executive Director at PAAR. I joined PAAR to really make a difference and an impact in the community in which we live. The 50-year history of PAAR really drew me in. I'm passionate about supporting women's issues. I'm passionate about underrepresented minorities. I'm passionate about giving to the community the things that are important to solving the social ills of our community. What gets me up in the morning are the clients, the stories that I have been told, the impact that I know we're making in the day-to-day lives of victims of sexual violence wakes me up every morning. It's difficult and heavy work, but we know that if we're making a dent in this issue, we will change lives forever. When a client comes to PAAR, what we really hope they feel is a sense of compassion and a warmth in our space. And so we try to provide that in every step of the way. From the moment they walk into our doors, they're greeted with the kindness of our receptionists that welcome them in. But everything about our space shows that we really do feel compassionate and want them to feel safe. I would describe PAAR as being a place of hope and healing, a safe place for victims and the community to seek care for some really critical and challenging situations in their lives. We rely on our entire community to aid us in maintaining our space, maintaining our services. And so the corporate, foundation community, individual donors and sponsors throughout our city come in support of us every year to ensure that we will be around for a long time. Every donation matters, every donation counts, and we appreciate every donation that we receive. So I'm very excited about the future at PAAR. I'm looking forward to working with our board and our staff and our community partners to continue to deepen our work to provide quality service and trauma-informed care to the clients that we serve on a daily basis. But I also look forward to the opportunity to reach a new audience and to see where we go next. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to see what the next 50 years looks like, and I'm really happy to be part of that process.
Thank you guys so much for having us. My name is Kat Cannon, and
I'm Cecil Wesher.
We're a Mindful Hospitality Group. We are a bar consulting, education, and private events company based in Pittsburgh, and we are so honored to be able to help celebrate with you guys today and support PAAR at the Teal Ball. So in celebration, we've created a little celebration cocktail to go into your celebration kit.
So we put together this cocktail in mind to try to add some excitement and some celebration. As you see in your kits, when you open it up, you'll find these two bottles here. But we wanted to kind of show you how we made this cocktail and what's actually in these two bottles, so you can kind of get a sense of what you'll be drinking and enjoying for tonight. So first, we wanted to thank our two sponsors who helped us put this cocktail together, which are Bombay Sapphire and Maggie's Farm. So we wanted to kind of pair this drink while utilizing two items from their line that kind of really show off their celebration aspects as well. We're going to start off with Bombay Sapphire Gin. This is a beautiful gin that has a lot of citrus notes. It's going to do 1.5 ounces of gin. Then we're going to go to Maggie's Farm Falernum. So Falernum is a ginger clove lime syrup made by Maggie Farm. You can actually go and help them make this product. They have zesting parties in the Strip District. They've been sponsors of the Teal Ball for many years, and we wanted to continue to include them into what we were doing here. So this great product is going to add a lot of that flavor and bring some tropical notes. We're going to add 1/2 ounce. Then to add some richness, we're going to use a raw sugar syrup, 1/2 ounce. Then we're going to add some fresh lime juice, 1/2 ounce. And then some pineapple juice, a full ounce. We're going to add a couple dashes of Angostura bitters. This is going to add clove, cinnamon, some of those baking spice notes. But we wanted to add a little kind of like pizzazz and spice into your cocktails. So there's 2 ingredients that we added to it, and then we're going to show you in your bottles how we're gonna pour it. So we have some pandan here.
It has this like really lovely aroma of like coconut and vanilla, but it's just kind of like on the back end. The flavors of pandan pair really well with the tropical cocktail we've already got going here, but also is gonna provide us the color that we want to create a teal cocktail.
And then we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of our sparkling pearl dust. I'm gonna add that to the cocktail. So with the green and the blue, this is where we're gonna get that beautiful bright teal color. So I'm just gonna give this a little small shake to incorporate. So now we're gonna pour. And then we have a celebration cocktail. So you guys have these 2 bottles here. They're for 2 people. All you guys have to do is just take a glass, ice it up, and then pour half the contents in there. So pour about half of your bottle. Give it a good stir.
And we took all the work out of it for you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you guys for having us. And again, thank you, PAAR. Thank you, Bombay Sapphire and Maggie's Farm for helping us make this beautiful sparkling cocktail. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm Farah Woodring, and I'm a therapist here at PAAR. My clients obviously put a smile on my face every day. I get to meet so many different people, from my youngest client is 3 all the way up to someone that I'm working with in their 50s, and they're also resilient, and they all bring so much to therapy. I've had a lot of clients say that therapy at PAAR is very different than other places that they've been. Our therapists are so dedicated to this work. I don't think you can do this work without having a passion for it and a really a drive to do this every day, because it is hard to hear some of the stuff that they say that has happened to them, and it's very real and very raw. I've never worked with coworkers that are just as excited to do the work and wake up every day just ready to go, and I think that's really special about PAAR. Sex trafficking is definitely prevalent in our area. I think a lot of people don't want to believe that it's happening here, right in our backyards. A lot of times it's teens that have run away from abusive homes, folks that are living on the street and they need somewhere to go. You know, it looks really different than what you might be seeing in movies, but it's definitely here. PAAR is really educating the community about it, and our community is really embracing that. They want to know about it. We always have trainings. People want to know what's going on and how they can help, and I think that's really cool about our community in Pittsburgh, is that even though we may not want to believe it, people are open to hearing it and want to do something about it. Donations are really important for us to be able to do all the amazing work that we do here at PAAR, especially for me as a therapist. You know, therapy can be expensive, right? To go to a private therapist can be expensive, which means that it can be not accessible to a lot of folks who may need it. And so donations by individuals, by corporations, by businesses allows us to do that work for free. So all of our services are no charge. It breaks down barriers for folks to get what they need. The likelihood that somebody in your circle has experienced this is rather high. So even if you don't have somebody in mind whenever you're donating, you could be helping somebody in your circle that you didn't even know about, or, you know, helping folks is going to make our community stronger.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, as you heard in the video, you know, the services here at PAAR are able to be at no cost to people that come into the space because of the incredible support from our community. And speaking of support, we rely on donations from people just like you, and we are about halfway to our goal of $7,500 for the night. So if you haven't bid yet, please do. And if you have bid, bid again and again and again. Okay. So that's my little spiel. But as you join me back here in the Braddock office, I wanted to share a little bit more about this location. This beautiful space is located right in the heart of Braddock. This satellite location aims to reduce barriers for victims of sexual violence and their families in the eastern region of Allegheny County. Clients are able to receive specialized trauma therapy, crisis services, and the full complement of victim services in their own backyard. This office is allowing PAAR to provide services to individuals who may not have had access due to distance and transportation barriers. I would also like to take this moment to thank everyone at home who has been donating. I know I just said it a minute ago, but it's important. This is the reason we've all gathered here tonight, is to learn about PAAR and to also give back, because we really can hit that goal of $7,500 with your help. Don't forget to keep on bidding on these fabulous auction items, and there is some amazing artwork up for grabs. That's right, from Baron Batch and Mia Tarducci, two of my favorite Pittsburgh painters. So I'd also like to take this time to thank a few of our other generous sponsors for this evening's event: the FISA Foundation, Heber's Pharmacy, HM Insurance Group, First Commonwealth Bank, Dinsmore Shoal, IBEW Local Union 5. And now, this is the fun part of holding paper and, okay, I got it. And now I'd like to turn your attention to a few more special guests from PAAR and the presentation of the Laura Ditka Visionary Award, Chatham University. Congratulations.
My name is Susie Balcom, and I'm an advocate at PAAR. As an advocate, my job is to accompany and support people, victims of sexual violence, as they engage with systems that they have to or that they want to engage with because of what's happened to them. Anything that they find themselves needing to go deal with, to go work through what's happened to them, we go with them and we make sure that they're okay. The direct support that us advocates provide to victims and survivors in the ER can look really different because each victim and survivor is different, right? But most often it looks like accompaniment to something that is really uncomfortable. Walking to the hospital, having to say that you've experienced some sort of sexual violence, and then having to have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 medical professionals checking you out in all types of ways. And so advocates, we are there from beginning to end for as long as the person wants us to be there. In the courtroom, things are intense. Courtrooms are intimidating. The people walking around courtrooms look intimidating. Everything's intimidating about it. So again, we're there as support. We're also there as answers. We can tell them, what's going to happen next. This is normal. This is to be expected. I just try to make the whole process as easy as possible. My favorite part about the job, I'd have to say, is when we start to finish working with a client, whatever that looks like. We're coming to the end of our service with them, and we get to see them kind of turn into their own advocate. I think PAAR is unique because we realize that we're not an island. We can't do this work on our own. We're not an end-all, be-all agency. I think that is what makes us important to the community, is when we embrace that. We realize that we don't have all the answers ourselves, and our power is in the fact that we are part of a community, and together we can help survivors. But some of the funding, especially donations that we get during the TEAL Ball, that can go to meeting the unique needs of our clients, because we recognize that basic human needs need to be met before anybody can do the deep work of healing or going to court or things like that. People need transportation, they need hygiene products, they need clothing, they need to be fed. And so donations, especially from the TEAL Ball, help my team be able to do that for our clients.
Hi there, my name is Justin Severino from Salty Pork Bits and Morcia Restaurant, and I'm here to support PAAR with some salty pork bits. So today we have some leek ash and porcini mushroom salami and some pepperoni. Leek ash porcini is one of my favorites. I like to call it one of our unique creations. Salami, the flavor profile of that salami was kind of made out of a want and need to utilize parts of vegetables that normally go into the garbage. So we take the green parts of leeks and dehydrate them in an oven overnight until they become like literally ash. We pulverize that into a powder. I would say it's probably one of the most savory ingredients we use. Porcini mushrooms, and there's also some port wine. And then a nice balance to that weird flavor that we make is a pretty standard pepperoni. It should be everything you expect out of a pepperoni. So I'm just gonna go through really quickly. You guys aren't gonna have to slice salamis, but I'm gonna show you how while we're here. And then I'd also like to just run you through what I think balances out a nice cured meat or charcuterie board. So we make all of our salamis about this size. I do that because I think they're pretty user-friendly. You don't need a meat slicer, you just need a sharp knife. I try to like turn the salami a little bit on the bias. You can cut these guys as thick or as thin as you'd like, but I try to cut them about, let's say, 1/16 to 1/4 inch. You know, building a charcuterie plate and making a nice plate of cured meat doesn't need to be complicated for you at home. For me, what I really like is I want to have something pickled or acidic. That acid is there to balance all the fat and like rich flavors of the salami. And I just think you really just need to have a little bit of crunch in there to balance it all out. So today, we're standing here at Morcia Restaurant, which we just reopened. Make a reservation, come on in, give me your money. I need it badly, please. So we're gonna put together a little Spanish-inspired plate of salami, right? So I'm just gonna loosely put the pepperoni down. You know, when I plate things, I really don't enjoy making them look placed or contrived. So I like to tell my cooks to make it look like it fell from the sky, but you don't have to do that. You know, and this is really, it's just salami, you know. Our parents eat it, you know, it's working man's food. It doesn't need to be seen as this like extravagant thing. It can just be a plate of salami. So this is saffron lavender Dijon mustard we make and sell. It's super peppery from the Dijon, and it's just got like the balance of like saffron and lavender is really lovely. And then we have some guindillas. These are like the Spanish equivalent to like, let's say a pepperoncini. We have some cornichon, probably my go-to most favorite little thing to eat with cured meats. It's a sour little pickle. Marcona almonds, which are awesome. The almonds that are toasted and then packed in olive oil for the crunch. And then we have a little manchego cheese that's been marinated in lots of citrus and garlic and rosemary. And manchego is a pretty mild cheese, so it really lends itself nice to the marination. I would say you probably have some pickled carrots in your box from Scratch Kitchen. I think is going to be fantastic. And that is a standard salami plate from me to you. And we're here to support PAAR. So thanks a lot, guys.
I'm Gail Brown, and I'm an educator here at PAAR. So my role at PAAR is I'm an educator. So I go out into the community. I do programs in schools with kids, you know, kindergarten through college. We talk about things like boundaries. We talk about things like the beginnings of what does consent look like in friendships and those kind of things. And when kids come here, we offer those counseling services to kids. And in a variety of ways. We have, you know, play therapy and art therapy and a lot of really cool ways to connect with kids. I also go out in the community and work with parents, with our Parents in the Know program. So we go out into the community and encourage parents to keep their own children safe by setting healthy boundaries, but we also encourage parents to look out for other kids in the community by being an active bystander. I always think of our work in the community as being like dropping a pebble in a pond. You know, we might start that splash, but you know, kind of where does that ripple effect go with that education? Any form of sexual violence, you know, sexual harassment, sexual violence, boundaries, consent, these are all things that impact us on a daily basis, but they're often things that we don't get a chance to talk about. So I think that that's what I really like, is being able to go out and facilitate those conversations and allow people that space to talk about difficult things in a safe place, in a place where they can be heard, and in a place where maybe they can learn something along the way. You know, PAAR is a place and a building and services, but it's the people that work here that make PAAR the place that it is. And I want people to have that sense of, okay, this is okay. Because I think when people can have that sense of relief, then they can move through a healing process easier, and I think they can hear information easier, and I think they can take that in a better way. I'd like to work myself out of a job. You know, our mission is to end sexual violence, and you know, I think everything that we do moves towards that. So, you know, I think, you know, what we do in the community and meeting those needs in the community, you know, is all working towards ending sexual violence. PAAR certainly is the Rape Crisis Center, and you know, people sometimes hear our name and get a little scared at, you know, who we are and what we do. But hopefully the Teal Ball helps to connect people to see that we're not a scary place, that we actually do a lot of really great work in the community, that we are a really good community partner and a community neighbor, and again, kind of wanting to make that connection to the community.
Welcome everyone. My name is Karina Chavez, and I'm here on behalf of PAAR, Pittsburgh Action Against Rape Board of Directors, to present the Laura Ditka Visionary Award. We're here to celebrate Chatham University and Dr. David Feingold, president of Chatham University. And this Visionary Award is really meant to celebrate individuals and organizations who are committed to survivors and the prevention of sexual violence. Chatham University has been steadfast in their commitment, particularly through their Green Dot Bystander Intervention Program. So on behalf of PAAR, please accept this Laura Ditka Visionary Award.
Thank you so much, Karina. On behalf of Chatham University, I'm honored to accept the Laura Ditka Visionary Award for the work that we do in preventing sexual violence and harassment. This award is particularly meaningful to Chatham because when we were founded over 150 years ago, the college was created to provide opportunities for young women to get an education and to try to combat any form of gender-based discrimination. It's a particular honor to be recognized as the first university to receive the Laura Ditka Award in recognition of the fact that Chatham is one of the safest campuses in any major city in the United States. As anybody who's engaged in the work to eliminate sexual violence knows, this is difficult work, and it's work that can't be performed by any one individual or even one great Title IX office. It literally takes a village coming together with partners and resources to make progress in this area. And thus, I'd be remiss today if I didn't take the opportunity to recognize and thank all of the partners who've helped Chatham to win this award. First and foremost, I'd like to thank PAAR. They have been a great support for our students who've been victims of sexual violence, and they've provided free training on campus for our students, faculty, and staff to help us create a positive culture that combats violence on campus. We literally couldn't have been where we are today without their help. I'd also like to thank and recognize Karina Chavez, who does a wonderful job of leading PCHE, which is the Pittsburgh Council on Higher Education, and has made preventing sexual violence and discrimination one of the lead issues for this consortium of 11 colleges and universities. We were honored to be chosen to host the first combined Green Dot training that brought together more than 80 professionals from across Pittsburgh on our Eden Hall campus for 2 days of work in this important area of bystander training. And this past summer, Karina again brought together all of these professionals and Title IX coordinators to understand what the new Title IX regulations were going to mean and make sure we had professional help to implement these on our campus. I'd also like to thank our other partners in the community, the FISA Foundation, United Way, and their Standing Firm initiative, which brings together university leaders, corporate leaders, government and nonprofit leaders, each to make an annual commitment to say how important this issue is, the fact that we recognize it impacts not just our students, but our workforce, and to do everything we can together to prevent it. Within Chatham, this is really a university-wide effort. And so there's not any one individual that I want to single out, but in addition to our great Title IX office, we have the Gender and Sexual Violence Prevention Committee. We have the It's On Us initiative, which we have been funded 3 times now by the state of Pennsylvania for the great work in this area. We have the Student Committee on Preventing Sexual Violence. We have our Women's Institute, which under the leadership of Dr. Ramey has been taking a lead on gender equity issues and preventing violence across all of Pittsburgh and working with the mayor's office on gender equity. And all of these different actors have come together to make this award possible. I wanted to conclude by thanking our other members of the Peachy Consortium. When Chatham went all gender 5 years ago, we had to bring about a major cultural change and changes in policies and practices on our campus. And frankly, we couldn't have achieved that where we've got to today without the support and the learning from all of those other colleges and universities that make up this community in Pittsburgh. It's a great honor for us to get this recognition today from PAAR, and I look forward to continuing to work with Karina Chavez and with all of our Peachy partners and PAAR in the years ahead to try to completely eliminate sexual violence in our community. Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome back, and congratulations to Chatham University for receiving the Laura Ditka Visionary Award. I wish I had like an applause track, but hey, I'm applauding for you. There you go. Okay, at some point, some of you may realize now that you have received a text message reminding you that you still have time to donate. We are so close to our goal of $7,500, and speaking of dollars and cents, we are so grateful to Huntington Bank. I wanted to make sure to give them a shout out as being one of our sponsors tonight. Once again, the work of PAAR cannot be done without supporters, corporate and personal. So thank you to everyone that is continuing to bid and keep on going. We are so close. Okay, and you still have time to bid on those silent auction items, and I had given you a few to think about, like the fabulous artwork, so be sure to do that. But now I would like to welcome a very special guest and friend, the Second Lady of Pennsylvania, Giselle Fetterman. Applause track, applause track, applause track. There you are. Hi, how are you?
I'm so happy to be here and see you.
Oh, well, I'm always so happy to see you too. So I just wanted to know, this organization is so near and dear to your heart. What is it about PAAR that you find so invaluable to the community?
The work that they do, ending sexual violence, that's the work of all of us. We all have to have a part in that, but with your support and your financial support, PAAR can reach more and more families. And the fact that they came to Braddock, I'm so grateful for that. There's so many families that didn't have access to getting to, once you are a victim, once you're a survivor, getting to the place where you can get help. That barrier, they've removed that barrier for members of my community and the Mon Valley, and for that I'm so grateful.
And that's so wonderful. And what is it about Braddock? Obviously I know this place will forever have such a soft spot in your heart, but what is it about Braddock that you do love so much?
I love the community. This is a place where so many chose to leave, and those that left behind, I'm just in love with them. They chose to stay, and they believed in their community, and they fight for their community, and what more can you ask for than to be loved? And Braddock is loved.
I love that, and I love you. And now I'm getting all misty-eyed, and I haven't even had a drink yet, which is just sad, but we're going to get to that in a minute. But first, as we wrap up this little Q&A, Giselle, you are so well known in the communities around the city and around the county and now around the state for all of the incredible work that you do, all of the volunteer efforts that you head up. Why do you think it is so important to build community through service?
I think everyone can do something, right? And you have to find what your something is, and it's different for people. For some people, it's a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But we all can do something, and if we push that energy of pain, that energy of frustration, if we push that into something positive, then we're working to solve and create solutions instead of just spreading more pain.
No, I love that, and I think that's really the mission of PAAR here as well, is creating solutions and bringing love out of pain. So thank you so much for that. Okay, I need to know, what is the almost final total right now happening? $5,400.
We're getting there, but we're not there yet.
That's right. So, guys, you still have time to bid, and if you've already been bidding, I want you to bid again and again and again and again, because all of the money is helping victims of sexual violence get through, not just to survive it, but to then thrive. So
At
it's
no cost to them.
at no cost, which is really the main objective here, is like what Giselle was saying, to provide access, removing barriers. So on that note, I see a couple of drinks behind us, and I feel like it's time for a cocktail, wouldn't you say?
I think so.
All right. Well, this is super sparkly too, which I'm kind of thrilled about because I love a little glitter in my life. Cheers.
To hitting the goal and to surpassing the goal tonight.
See, I like that. Dream big. Give big, and thank you so much for joining us. Cheers. Oh, that's good.
And there's glitter.
And there's glitter. I'm going to take another sip.